Hi guys, this is Jama Malmy from Playing with Paper at jamamalmy.com, and today I wanted to show you how to put together this page from the new Cricut Artbooking cartridge. And the great thing about this cartridge is that every page has a scrapbook layout or mini book layout that's already designed for you, and you can easily put together with the touch of a couple of buttons. So this particular button has all of these images shown here, and here's a closer look at the actual layout. And what you do is each page has the dimension right here at what you set your Cricut at. So when you set your Cricut at 11 inches, then every single cut on this layout will you'll leave it at 11 inches, but it will cut it at relative size. So it will already cut it at the perfect size for each of these items in the layout. If you want, say, the Hello World to actually cut at 11 inches, then all you need to do is on your keypad, press the real dial size button, and it'll make it what the real dial size is instead of the relative dial size. So that's one of the cool features of this cartridge, and it makes it really easy to put a page together. Just to give you a little peek at some of the mini book pages, these are what the mini book pages look like. And there's more images on each page than are actually shown on the pages up in the corner. So there's a little bit more flexibility for you, but it gives you a jumping off point for sure. And there's lots of different themes. There's vacation and love and sports and all kinds of stuff. Baby, so here's some more just scrapbook layouts. It's a love theme. There is another 3D flower on this cartridge. There's only one, because our previous cartridges there's 10 total. And there's this font too, adorable font. So I'm going to show you how to put together this layout. Now I've already cut everything out, but I have not glued it down yet. So what I did was, and just a note, when you are creating scrapbook layouts out of Cricut cuts only, these Cricut cuts are pretty intricate designs. So you want to stick with a more plain cardstock, or I've used a lot of polka dots with a really subtle pattern on my cuts. So otherwise, if you use a lot of pattern paper, it's going to get really busy. I tried doing that at first, especially I wanted a pattern on this base page with flowers because this layout's going to be for my daughter, and I had a favorite paper that I really liked, but it just looked too busy with this overlay. So stick with more subtle patterns and you'll be happier with the outcome. This is the second page. Love that little owl. So this is what the owl looks like. It's layered. And then there's actually another owl right here too. This is kind of the companion layout to go with the baby pages. So there's a couple different layouts that coordinate together. So first what I did was I decided what colors I'm going to use. These are the colors in my daughter's room. And then I kind of decided which colors would look best in the layout, and I had to kind of play around a little bit. I'm really particular with color. And then I just went through and I cut out I set my Cricut at 11 inches, and I cut out each piece that I would need. So the overlay right here, that is the only one that's actually at 11 inches. So I cut that, and just a little tip, the cardstock for me cuts best at a speed of 3 and the pressure 3, and I set the blade at 4. So at first I set this overlay at speed 3. It took seriously 15 minutes to cut. So set it at 4, you'll be much happier with how long it takes. It only takes like 2 to 3 minutes then to cut it. And you might have to kind of pick out some of the pieces a little bit more, but it's not a big deal. It's definitely worth the time saver. So, but for smaller cuts, I did leave the speed at 4 or at 3. So put this at 4 so it's a little bit faster. Everything else I did at 3. Alright, so then I did this overlay for this page right here, kept it at 11 inches, and it cut this one out. And then I decided what color I wanted my mats. So you've got the typical 4x6 mat, or I'm sorry, 5x7, if it's a 5x7 photo, and then a 4x4. So I kept it at 11 inches and cut the 5x7 photo mat with the hearts on the bottom, and then I cut 3 of the 4x4 photo mats with the hearts on the bottom. There's also the photo mats with stars on the bottom if you'd rather have the stars. So that's what I did. These are the 4x4 photo mats. And then over here is the 5x7 and another 4x4. So I just alternated colors. You can keep them all the same color, or the way they have it here is there's one color here and then these are all the same color, but I just alternated. Actually, that's because that's the way it worked best with my paper. And then I cut out the Hello World, also at 11 inches. The Look Who's Here, also at 11 inches. And here's a little stamping trick. I wanted to use pink for this cut, but I didn't have a pink polka dot paper, and I wanted polka dots because that's what all the other papers were. So I just used pink cardstock, and then my my Close to My Heart stamp with little dots on it. This is a retired set, but we have a lot of different background sets and a lot of polka dots and different stamps that you can use. And so this is a fun way to dress up your cuts and just give it a little bit of texture. So that's what I did with this one, and I used blush cardstock with blush ink, so it's tone on tone and a nice subtle look. And then here is the branch and the leaves. So I cut out the branch, and then I've already glued the leaves on, and they just they cover right over the branch. And then for the owl, I then cut out this in the dark pink color, and then this, the yellow color. So these are all the colors I wanted to use because it's the color of my baby's nursery, but this pink and yellow, they're only shown over here, and so I wanted to bring them out more in the layout. And so what I did was I saw that there's this fun banner shape on the other side. This is just on the other side of the pamphlet from what we were looking at. And I cut this banner, and then I just I cut off a couple of the banner parts of it so that it would be shorter, and then I'm sticking it up here in the corner, and that adds the yellow from the owl over to this side of the page. So you've got so you're bringing out the yellow in a couple places, and then I'm also going to add pink behind each of these banners so that it brings out the pink as well. So then I've got all the colors represented. Now the only reason I have these pieces covering is just because if it doesn't, I feel like this is just so busy to look at while I'm kind of laying out the page and designing it. I feel like it distracts me, so I just, this is the cut from inside here, so I just turn it over for a contrast and just lay it there so I don't get distracted by the background. This is how you put the page together, and then I'm going to glue everything down, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Now, I find that this Bonding Memories glue from Close to My Heart works really well for these tiny pieces. There's a fat and a skinny tip, so this is just basically a glue pen, and it works really well. This is a really great adhesive because since this is so skinny, all I need to do is just draw the glue on the back of this and trace it and then glue it down, and it holds it down really well. And you can always use little mini glue dots if you want as well, maybe in a couple spots to make sure it stays down really well. So I'm back and I've finished both pages. This is the first page, and as you can see I did add the pink behind the banner, and that ties in with the pink on the second page. And it's not your imagination. One of these background pages is actually a darker gray than the other. I guess it was in a different dye lot. So here's the second page. So easy as that. It took me probably about 10 minutes to glue everything down. Since I had pre-cut everything, it came together really fast. And then I also wanted to point out that when you cut out the overlays, you've got these negative pieces left over. And so I made a little card with them. This is just a little 3x3 card, but you could do any size. And again, I just used the this pin to easily apply the glue on the back of these. And I also used the pin on everything on these pages except for the photo mats. And I also want to correct myself and the booklet. This actually does fit a 4x6 photo, not a 5x7 photo. So the handbook actually says 5x7. I corrected it to 4x6. So you'll want to do that when you get your handbook. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Here again is the handbook. You can comment on the YouTube video, on my blog, jmamalmy.com, or on my Facebook page, facebook.com/playingwithpaperctmh, and I'll answer any questions. If you would like to purchase the Artbooking cartridge, it's $99, and it comes with the cartridge, 3 stamp sets, and 3 dimensional elements.